Stop listening. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a young man, and he had one of our packages. We're going to talk about two. One of them had one of our packs. He lives in a different country, and he says in his country nobody has any type of trust like that. He's been looking and searching and can't find anything like it. He wants to share it, and he says he didn't want to disrespect the company by just sharing it without our permission. And so I gave him permission. He's in a different country. Go ahead and use it. You have my permission. Use this text message to document the fact that I gave you full permission to do whatever you want to with it. It's an older trust. Yes, by all means. Who does that? Nobody. Everybody else wants to make money off of somebody. Told him if he makes a profit off it, it's his. Don't want to dime. I was just talking to someone else and I said, look, we're getting ready to redo the mega pack. I can't do much more to the mega pack. It's just I can complete the mega pack. Now, what do you mean complete? Well, the mega pack is complete. There's nothing else to add to the mega pack. It has everything it needs. Did a video earlier today proving that. But there are other components that will make it complete. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of work goes into all of this. I get up. Yesterday I was up at 3 o'clock. Today I'm up at 5 o'clock. But this is my every waking hour. Trying to help you guys. I'm not doing this for myself. You don't hear me advertising. You don't hear me telling we need you to pay this and we just did this and we have this new package, and you don't hear me doing that. We're not trying to get money off of you guys. We're not trying to go into your pocket. We're trying to make sure we give you as much value for your dollar as possible. We beg people, do your research. So we have another guy. He got our mega pack. And he was talking about the mega pack with a friend. And he received credits from one of our other packages. And his friend said, well, you need to, lock down your security interests on that. What? Yeah, man, you need to lock down that security interest. File yourself a UCC. Who am I going to file it against? You're going to file it against the one who gave you the credits. Really? Yep, showing up, Shogun. And so I get a notification. Hey, somebody filed a lien against you. What? Yeah, they filed a lien against you right here. Take a look. That guy right there. He's the creditor and you're the debtor. Wait, he filed against the EeoN Foundation? Well, the EeoN Foundation ain't did nothing for him. Yeah, I know, but he filed it against you. What the? So I contacted the guy and I told him, I said, I've ordered the staff to stop doing any work on your project. They will not touch a dime, and then I'll put you through arbitration. He has since contacted and said, hey, no, look, I didn't mean to do that. That was my friend. He said that it would help, and he said that was what I was supposed to do. And I told him, you didn't read instructions on what a UCC Financing 1 statement is all about. I said a UCC Financing 1 statement is for documenting a security interest. Those are your credits. Once someone assigns them to you, they are your property. There is no security interest with us anymore because we assign them. When you do an assignment, you relinquish any type of claim. I told him to do his research. He said he's correcting it now, and by Monday it should be corrected. And I told him, no problem. I've already ordered the staff to go ahead and continue the work that they were doing this week on his project, on his papers. They were literally 2 different departments working on his document. Ladies and gentlemen, I keep imploring all of you to do your research. So let's do a little bit of research right here. We're going to skip this because this was... I was doing something else. I apologize. Let's go... we're going to go to Kevin. Yeah, because Kevin, he's ruthless. So we can go to Kevin. Wake up. No, stop listening. Hey, Kevin, I got a situation. I have these obligations that I want to assign the benefits of the obligations to someone else via the accrual method of accounting. How is it possible that I can do that? Can you explain the different ways that I can assign obligations that operate as credits to another party via the accrual method of accounting? Either accounts receivables or financial instruments. Can you tell me? Ladies and gentlemen, I got Jeffrey Osborne in my head. I was playing him yesterday, and I can't get concentrate on you. Yeah, concentrate on you, baby. Jeffrey is still singing. That's my boy. A lot of respect for Jeffrey. A lot of respect. I likes me some Jeffrey Osborne and some LTD. LTD featuring Jeffrey Osborne. So I was listening to Concentrate, and I haven't heard Concentrate. Concentrate on you. Yeah. Haven't heard that in about 4 years. Listened to it yesterday. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Anyway, so was everybody else, by the way. I said, all right, cut through the accounting mumbo-jumbo and look at the real ways that you can shift the benefits from your accrual obligations, receivables, financial instruments, into somebody else while keeping your books on the accrual method. Now think of it like offloading IOUs you already booked without messing up your income recognition. Let's go. Assignment of accounts receivables. Yay! You already recognized revenue and you booked an AR, accounts receivable. Now you want someone else to collect that cash. There are a few flavors that I can add to my Baskin Robbins. Do your research, people. Now watch this. Wake up. Wake up. Now look. Stop listening. Well, look. The one thing I want to do is I got these credits that somebody gave me. They assigned them to me. But I want to document my security interest in them credits. What do you think I should do in order to document a security interest? Because I know there's a particular form that is designed for evidencing a security interest. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let's find out if he knows what he's talking about. Watch this. Now, hold on now. I think you forgot about something. There's the Uniform Commercial Code, number 9. And then there is this thing, whereas once someone assigns an accounts receivable or a financial benefit or a security to another person, by the very nature of assignment and the definition of assignment, they relinquish any and all claims to that which is being assigned. Is this not true? And show me proof. Ladies and gentlemen, see, it talks about the amendment form, UCC 9, UCC 3, UCC 1. Okay, hold on now. Now remember, I just told him, he says, effective notice of assignment. An account debtor to an account, may discharge an obligation by paying the assigner until but not after. We're not worried about that. Anti-assignment clause ineffective, except as otherwise provided in terms of an arrangement that prohibits, restricts, and requires the consent to the assignment is ineffective to that extent. Not worried about that. Proof in practice. Notification. You serve an authenticated notice of assignment on the account debtor. No, not on the account debtor. Wake up. I didn't say anything about an account debtor. I said I was assigning credits comma, I don't know why you went to a debt collection, because not all credits are associated with a debt. Period. If these are my accounts receivables, I don't have to assign them as a debt obligation. Stop listening. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand where ChatGPT is coming from. And that's why I said I didn't assign them as a debt obligation. Not all accounts receivables are related to a debt. Accounts receivables can come in many fashions. Now, an assignment of a right is a manifestation of the assigner's intention to transfer it, by virtue of which the assigner's rights to performance by an obligor is extinguished in whole or in part, or the assignee acquires the right to such performance. Put plainly, when you assign a credit, i.e. a right to receive payment or other performance, your right to that performance is automatically extinguished, and the assigner, the assignee, me, the assigner, me, steps aside and allows the assignee to step into my shoes with the exclusive rights to enforce it. Wake up. Did you know that an accounts receivable can be recorded via the accrual method or other accounting methods that are acceptable and approved in more fashions and more ways, so as to document it, so as to be able to transfer, so as to document it, so as to be able to transfer those receivables or assets to another? Stop listening. Ladies and gentlemen, recording methods for receivables. Accrual basis method. Give me a second. My dog is outside barking, and I gotta see who he's barking at. Oh, he's barking at another dog. It's a guy on a bike, and he's got his dog with him. And so my dogs are barking at the idiot riding on his bike. That's the second time he rode by going one way, and now he's riding by on a dirt road with his dogs. And let's see. I gotta make sure he continues to move on. Yeah, they're moving on. But he's got a mutt with him. And anyway, my dogs are barking at his mutt. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just so that you know, matches revenue to the period it was earned, gives a fuller picture of your true financial position, blah, 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 gives you cash basis method of accounting. No. Wake up. Of course not. Comma, cash method basis method of accounting. It's not an accrual accounting issue. Accrual, comma, I did not say anything about cash basis. I said the accrual basis method of accounting. I am not mixing the two. Even though it is possible, I am not doing it. Stop listening. There are advantages and many disadvantages to doing that. Okay? This locks the asset the moment I earn it, even before the cash hits my books. The accrual method of accounting. Ladies and gentlemen, do your research. My GPTs are trained on finances and law. That's their primary focus. Do your research. Hey, I gotta go. I just wanted to let you guys know that there are many benefits out there. You guys just have to do your research. Read the publications. Ask the questions. Watch this. Wake up. You know, I have quite a few people who owe me a debt, comma, I decided that I'm just going to send out a notice, comma, letting them know that I am not going to forgive the debt, comma, I am not going to extinguish the debt, comma, I am not going to write off the debt as I am not required to, period. I am going to charge them for damages for every day the debt goes unpaid at 3% interest per day, as is my right. Exclamation mark. And then what I'm going to do on the side without telling them, because I don't have to, comma, I'm going to take that 3% and I'm going to write that off on my books as an asset. And because I paid my taxes in advance and I always overpay, comma, I can look to get a refund if I do it the right way. Comma, isn't that right? Question mark. Some of y'all gonna need to go back and listen to what I just said in order for you to get it. Stop listening. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't like the 3% per day. Okay, almost every jurisdiction caps default and penalty interest. Wake up. Let's make sure you understand. Comma, every jurisdiction, comma, you must be out of your mind. Comma, not every jurisdiction caps default and penalty interest. Exclamation mark. I have the right to do it daily because my contract is a private contract and not a consumer contract. Comma, but yes, you didn't give that stupid caveat, did you? Stop listening. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, because you guys are going to get the same response. And if you don't know what you're talking about, you're not going to understand it. So pay attention. Private commercial contracts aren't shackled by most usury caps. You and the other party negotiated and signed the terms knowingly. Watch this. Wake up. You must be out of your mind bringing up that sovereign citizen stupidity. Comma, I don't have to negotiate anything with anyone. Period. My assessing penalties on another party for failure to pay is my choice, as long as it's in the contract that I have the right to do so. Exclamation mark. And if it isn't in the contract and the party owes money to me, comma, the law only requires that I notify them that I am going to do a fee assessment for damages and other penalties. Comma, stop trying to tell me what the law is when I know the law. Stop listening. I apologize. Your contract should include a clause like this. I don't care. My contract, see, says should. So we're going to do this again because I didn't ask him. I told him to stop trying to tell me. I don't have to have a should clause. You're not buying sovereign citizen angle, huh? You better believe it. Upon failure to pay any amount, what you do need, though, to trigger these penalties clearly under contract and UCC principles is nothing more than authenticated notice of my intent to assess the fees. That's all I need. I don't need to tell them we had it in the contract that I could assess fees. The contract just needs to show that I can assess interest. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who had arbitration agreements, pay attention. That clause is in every single arbitration contract template that I created. Pay attention. Intentional. Pay attention. All right, look, I got to go because that's the way I got to do it. Okay? Gotta go because that's the way I got to do it. We will speak to y'all soon, shortly. Take care of y'all self, but do your research, everyone. You can do a lot with a little bit of research. Have a good day. Oh, and those of you who are trying to figure some things out, hopefully this video helped you a lot.